Madam Toastmaster, Toastmasters, guests. If you would have asked me a year ago, I never would have imagined that I would be standing here today or that I would have a tattoo. The black monster of fear has plagued me since my earliest memories. As a young child, left home alone late into the night with my younger brother and sister, I would lay in bed terrified that if I fell asleep, someone might kill my parents, impersonate them, and I would never know. I became quiet and withdrawn and poked fun at myself to cover my anxiety and acted silly. One example is in high school, my speech teacher called me Caroline the entire semester, and I didn't have the courage or nerve to correct him. I was taking my driver's test, and the day I was going to take it, I was writhing in severe stomach pain on the kitchen floor, pain that went away as soon as I took my test. As I grew into adulthood, my fears followed with me. They zapped me of opportunities and relationships. I began to control those around me and my environment to be free of germs, to be free of crowds and spontaneity. Fear was choking me, and I was unaware of its presence. There's a saying that says real change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing. I reached that point about a year ago. Our family was going to take a 3-week vacation to Europe, and I dreaded going. Imagine trying to get sympathy from your friends when you're complaining about a trip to Europe. But I did reach out for help at that point. I attended a Making Peace with Your Past retreat, and that began a new chapter of my life. I faced my fears. I did take the trip to Germany, Greece, and Italy. One of the tools I had is affirmations that I said weeks before we went, and then after, like almost every day on the trip. They go like this: I will pack, I will fly, I will arrive. There will be long lines, there will be tight spaces, and there will be lots of people. I have tools, I am strong. I will go into the uncomfortable because there's freedom in no other place. We will return with memories. It will be stressful, it will be fun. It was stressful, but it was also fun. And there were crowded buses where people were pushing into me on every side. And there were subways where I'm clutching my purse, afraid that someone's gonna take it. There were long TSA lines, and there were germs in public bathrooms. But you know what I found on that trip? I found what is on the other side of fear. I found freedom and life. I also found out who I am. If you would have asked me in the past, I would have said, I'm a mom and a teacher and a writer and a wife. I am all those things. I've been married to my college sweetheart for 25 years this coming May. I have 2 grown children that I homeschooled most of their lives. I have a degree in elementary education, and I have a blog that's called Filled to Empty, where I encourage tired women to care well for themselves so they can love those around them well. Those are all nouns that tell you what I do. To know who I am, we need an adjective. To find the adjective, you change the phrase from I am a to I am. So I have 3 adjectives that I describe myself. I am curious, I am passionate, and I am optimistic. My curiosity goes back to a young child asking my mom why at every turn. I love to read, love to learn. I dreamed of living next door to the library so I could take the 50 books I had checked out, return them, and get 50 more without having to wait for a ride from my mom. I am passionate. I have a retinal eye disease that had deteriorated to the point that I was losing my ability to read and to write, and my world was becoming smaller and smaller. I would not, even with glasses and contacts together, be able to renew my driver's license. To my delight, 2 years ago, I became a candidate for a surgery that restored a good portion of my vision, and I can now read, write, and drive fairly normally. That has given me a passion to not waste a day I am given. It spurred me to optimism. My role model, Winnie the Pooh, lives life with joie de vivre, or joy of life, and I want to embrace that. I want to love life. Winnie the Pooh has some great quotes. He says, "You are braver than you believe, you are stronger than you think, and you are smarter than you seem." After living decades chained by the monster of anxiety and depression, life and joy taste so sweet. That that spurs me to want to encourage others, to want to tell people that you matter, you have value, you have worth. My lifelong love of books and learning has caused me to love writing as well. I write nonfiction. I enjoy writing short fiction stories, doing book reviews. I've joined a writing group, and I'm looking forward to publishing a book in the near future. My tattoo is a symbol of the new me. It's here on my foot, and it says breathe. It's a physical reminder. I'm putting a stake in the ground. I am not my fear. I am not my panic attacks. When I freak out, I get choked up and I can't breathe. My tattoo reminds me all I have to do is the next step. I don't have to figure out how to solve that big problem that has me panicked. All I have to do is take a breath. The T is in a cross because my Christian faith is the foundation of my hope and my life and my freedom. I have a semicolon at the end of the word breathe on my tattoo because you can end a sentence with a period and that sentence is over. You can also end it with a semicolon and there's more to come. I will not quit. I will not give up. I will fight. I will go through this as far and as long as I have to find and run after the freedom and joy that I have. I am not a victim. I have a choice. I have a voice. I am here today at Toastmasters to take the next step in my journey, facing my fear of people. On the outside, I would appear confident, while on the inside, I was in turmoil. I used to lead and overachieve as a way of controlling and coping with my anxiety. I read on the Toastmasters website that this is a safe place to try new things. So I'm here today to try and not be perfect. My tattoo reminds me that I am not my past. I have the power to fully love and to fully be loved. Thank you for joining me today as I begin that next step in my journey. Mass.